Can we just introduce ourselves, just name and place, just one more time? This is Akshay from Florida.
Anand from Longmont.
Yeah, this is Munish Shirazada from Chicago.
Yeah, I'm Raghav Reddy Solipuram from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
This is Rashmi from Dallas.
Hi, this is Gopal from Dallas, Texas.
This is Anil from Dallas, Texas.
Manvi from Dallas.
Hi, this is Chakravarti from Dallas.
This is Nisha from Dallas.
Jaimin Dalbari, Dallas.
So Rashmi and Jamin, you have decided to show the power of Dallas, is it?
Yeah, looks like.
Hooray, Dallas!
We are fortunate to have such a good community in Dallas. And it's more Rashmi's efforts, I think.
Okay.
No, people are aware more here.
Did everyone introduce themselves?
Hey, I'm Mohan here from Alabama.
So,
Is Somu going to join?
I'm sorry?
Is Somu going to join?
He said he would be, but I'm not sure whether he will or not. But I guess he should. He would.
I think some people must have got confused with the timings because we mentioned the EST in the conference call invitation, it seems.
Yeah. So, yeah, 12 p.m. EST.
So probably that there's a possibility that people from Central Time Zone or from Pacific Time Zone must have got confused.
Yeah, actually, can be. That's true. So we can do one thing. We will actually put the meeting minutes and the recordings in open so that if anyone wants, they can go through them and.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll just get started. My name is Akshay. I have been working with the party for last 2 years. Today, actually, we would be discussing about the ways to which we can support the party in India. So this is the first ever, first conference call for the Aam Aadmi Party supporters in USA. And we have Shalini Gupta. She is from Chicago. She has been working with the party in India in setting up the organization structure. She is responsible for setting up the structure in India, and she is helping us even in USA too. So I'll give it to Shalini ji to give the inputs, or just to brief us what exactly is happening in India and on the ground, and the ways through which we can help from USA. Shalini ji.
Hi, this is Pran.
Hi, Pran.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah, Shalini ji, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to thank everybody who's on the call today to be volunteers for the Aam Aadmi Party. We all know that it is every Aam Aadmi struggle that the party, is carrying forward. So it can only succeed if every Aam Aadmi Party joins in the struggle. And so even though I live here in the U.S., and I've been following this for 2 years, it's very clear that the next 10 months are very crucial, whether we succeed or not. And in the next 10 months, we need to... can you hear me?
Hello, Shalini, your voice is breaking. I cannot hear it anymore.
Okay.
You're perfectly clear.
Hello, is it with everybody or just me?
No, I think that's
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's clear for me as well.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear anybody's voice. Probably. Let me...
This is Anand here. It's perfectly clear for me.
Yeah, for Akshay, yeah, it's perfectly clear for me.
Okay, I just took it off speaker. Is it better
Hello?
now?
Yeah, Shalini, you go ahead. It's...
let me join the call from the other number. Probably that might help.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
So as I was saying, that the next 10 months are crucial for this struggle. The first election that's coming up this year is Delhi elections, and so there's the national party is really gearing up for in a big way for the Delhi elections. So it's critically important that we win the Delhi elections, because that will determine whether in 2014 at the national level the party is successful or not. So just to introduce myself to everybody else who's on the call, I'm an organization development consultant, and I've worked with a lot of large companies in creating high-performing organizations. So that's what I do for my clients, and currently I live and work in the Chicago area, and Arvind had asked me to come and help with the party organization structure, setting up a high-performing organization. And so I was in India for 6 weeks, setting up the structure, processes, streamlining the strategy, enrolling volunteers, creating the, so this is like a startup situation, and we're really going from ground zero to creating some order and structure. So as a small movement, they could operate in a very unstructured way, but that cannot happen anymore. They have the party has to have a structure, and it's going to open offices all over the country in every state, in districts. And so one thing is that I want to let everybody know, all our volunteers know, that there's a lot of activity going on in India. Even though we may not be fully aware of all the things that are going on, I just want to let you know that people are working around the clock in India. So let me give you a little background of what are the different efforts that are going on. There's obviously there's an executive committee that meets every week, has a conference call, or once a month they meet face to face. That has about 23 members and some few more open slots. There's an executive council of about 300 members or so, a national council. But now the biggest task was to create the organization and those committees in all the states and districts. So there's an actual team. You probably have seen on the website called Mission Bunyad, which is going around creating these committees and opening the party offices in starting with 12 states. That work has been going on fast and furious. There's a team that is involved in the whole Delhi election. So there's 70 assemblies in Delhi. And in all the 17 assemblies, we're building, the effort is to build a strong Aam Aadmi Party team of volunteers. The goal is to have 10 to 12 active volunteers at every booth level in every assembly in Delhi. And so there's a very strong round-the-clock efforts that are going on to do that. We have A teams with good leadership and good in some of the assemblies, and in other places we need a lot more work. So right now there's an effort going on to try to recruit more volunteers from people who've either called on our helpline or become party members or have signed up on our website from Delhi that want to contribute to the party in some way. So there's that whole Delhi work that is going on. Then there's a very, very critical team led by Dr. Yogen Yadav that is working on all this policy formulation for the party. So, he's put together a fabulous structure just recently this last week for 3 days. There was about 70-80 people from across the country, subject matter experts on different things, including economic policy, defense policy, social policy, had come, and some of the terms of reference, the party ideology of what these subject matter committees would be working on over the next few months was determined. And these teams were formed, and so those teams are now going to be working on the party policies related to these aspects of governance. And then obviously there is, so these are some big national level efforts that are going on. In addition, all the usual work of, media, publicity, event management, technology, all of that is also going on simultaneously. So you can imagine that the task is huge. And, right now it's, we need to involve more and more people to carry this forward. There's also a fundraising team that was created, and somebody is heading that. And soon we'll be starting off fundraising efforts. In fact, it's already started. We have a payment gateway has been enabled on the internet. So but there'll be other activities associated with that. So this is kind of a high-level overview of some of the activities that are going on and some of the teams that have been created, and you know, some level of decentralization and having you know, leaders of each of the teams. Arvind meets with each of the team leaders on a weekly basis, and on a weekly basis he meets with them just to kind of check progress and see where we are going. In some areas we are, you know, we are quite far ahead. In other areas it's still at a very, very nascent stage. But work is moving simultaneously, and that was the effort. That we don't want bottlenecks in the organization. You know, we don't want everything to be funneled through 4 or 5 people so that, you know, it ends up being sequential and then it takes a long time. We don't have time. We have barely 10 months to get our act together. So I think the efforts of this NRI group, especially the US group, is very critical. I think we have a fabulous, professional, very dedicated, very smart people in this network, and we absolutely want to utilize the skills of everybody who's wanting to contribute and take the struggle forward. So there were, I think Dilip had sent an email to Akshay saying, okay, now that the teams have been formed and it's in, I think, 25 countries that the Aam Aadmi Party chapter has been created, just like, you know, this team in the US. That, you know, what is the next step? What do we need to do? How do we contribute? So there's 2 ways that we can contribute. One is at the basic, you know, in our country, what can we do to move the Aam Aadmi Party agenda forward? And so one thing is that we want to create, obviously we want to continue to market the Aam Aadmi Party vision. We want to help people understand the vision. We want to, you know, raise funds for it, and we want to be a support group for the team in India. But also there are some concrete things that the national team may need help with, and we can contribute in that. For example, I know that some of you are working on creating the electoral data, you know, voter lists and things like that. So I think Dilip sent out an email where he said, let all the countries form these 4 teams, and the 4 teams were volunteer engagement team. So right now, let's say we have, how many people we have who have signed up for the US group?
We have around 80 to 100 people.
Okay, so we have 80 to 100 people. Our effort should be to continually keep growing that group. Grow it, you know, so we have 500 and 10,000 and 5,000 and 50,000 and so on. So that should be one effort, which there should be a team dedicated to enrolling more and more people into that, because it's a ripple effect. The more people then join, then they can join more people and more people. So we can only succeed if our network is really, really big. So that's one area where, you know, we have to continue to keep growing this, our base. The other area is fundraising. So Mr. Akash Madnani is the person who's leading all the fundraising efforts, and soon he will be interacting and giving directions on you know, kind of programs he wants to launch. One thing that's on the ticket is a way to raise donations from NRIs, that is Indian citizens in all the countries, and using a crowdfunding kind of model where small donations through the internet-based donations, just like the Obama campaign did. You know, they got a lot of money through small donations. They sent out a lot of emails. They had a huge database of people who were supporters, and they would send them mails about issues and then ask for donations. So something similar along those lines he's planning. They'll also, you know, again, it'll be accompanied by a twin effort within India. And he's identified some 8 or 9 strategies that they're going to use to target the, you know, to get, target our donors. Then there is, so we have the volunteer engagement team, the fundraising team, media team, and by that I mean not in, I mean, Indian media, we can affect it, sure, but more than that, Western media. So, when can we propagate the work of the Aam Aadmi Party, also get it picked up by, Indian news media in abroad and, other international media, because everything creates publicity. So that would be another team, and then the fourth team would be event management team. So events that we can host to publicize the vision of Aam Aadmi Party, which again, it works alongside the volunteer engagement team, because as you do these events, you can go to organizations, or you can go to host events, and then you can host something that they're starting in Delhi now is called tea parties. So they're asking people who have an interest in supporting the Aam Aadmi Party to host a tea party, call other people just to kind of discuss the vision of Aam Aadmi Party. So we can do similar things like that. People can host, discussion forums or groups or do events, and so what my vision for these four kinds of teams is that they would be pretty self-managed teams. They wouldn't really need a lot of direction from India. They can brainstorm, they can come up with their own creative ideas and take off. So if you know what your objective is, the objective of the volunteer team is to keep growing your volunteer base. The objective of the fundraising team is to get as much donations as possible for the party. The objective of the media publicity team is to get as much coverage of Aam Aadmi Party activities in NRI, in international and local Indian media in other countries. And the objective of the event management team is to hold as many events as we can to publicize the vision of the party. So those are four teams that can, be pretty self-managed, and because they know what their goal is. The next level in which we can help the India team is specific request-based work, which is, if there is an election research team that is actually looking at all the election research data, they're pulling up, they're the ones you're helping by doing the sort of creating these voter lists. If they need something more, they would reach out, and that would be a specific request or project based, and that I think would just be ad hoc. We don't want to create groups across all 25 countries for that. We would just reach out and make that request to specific people, because we know that they can deliver what we're asking them. So any questions on what I've just shared so far?
Yes, Shalini, I'm Raghava Solipuram from Houston, Texas.
Sure. Hi.
Just curious to know, do you have any plan to have an overseas kind of organization, or at this point we are not even thinking about it?
So the organizations that have been created in 25 countries are volunteer organizations.
Okay.
They're not formal part of the Aam Aadmi Party, but anybody from these groups, if you are an Indian citizen, can become a formal member of the Aam Aadmi Party by filling out the membership form, and then you are a formal member. But if you're not an Indian citizen, then you cannot technically be a member of the Aam Aadmi Party. You can still be a volunteer like myself.
Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hi,
So there are two kinds of, hi, go ahead.
This is Anil from Irving, Dallas. I have a question, like you talked about organizing tea parties, those kind of stuff wherein we can publicize our events and the Aam Aadmi Party's motives.
Right.
For that reference, wouldn't it be really helpful to put in all the objectives we have in mind, like corruption and whatever different objectives we have in mind, to keep it on paper or just in an email, circulate it to everybody, so that whosoever is holding it, whosoever is holding the meeting or the meet, can publicize it more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So that's absolutely essential. All the volunteers need to first they make themselves very familiar with the platform and the ideology of the Aam Aadmi Party and make sure that they understand it and they can publicize it. So anybody that we are using as volunteers in India, we are first doing a little bit of training with them. And so I think the same thing should be done with our NRI volunteer groups is go on the website and there's a CD that you can download. And then there's also a vision statement. There's also soon going to be an FAQ sheet that has, frequently asked questions and their responses. There is currently an FAQ, but it only has 5 questions. It's very limited. So I have someone in India working on revising that and posting a more expanded FAQ. There is also a book called Swaraj that Arvind has written. And that a lot of people in India, when they want to become volunteers, they're buying the book and reading it because it lays out the vision of the party, where they want to take the country, some of the central principles of the party. So some of the things that you should be very familiar with is what is the long-term vision of the party? What do they mean by decentralization or Swaraj? How is the party different? How is the internal structure or the constitution of the party different from other parties? And, why will this party not become corrupt like anybody else? There are very good answers for all these questions. And if anybody wants to actually go to the website and study the constitution of the party, then it will give you some of these answers also. Because inherently in the constitution, there have been some safeguards have been put, like, internal Lokpal, right to reject, right to recall, decentralized selection process. All of these things have been put there specifically, and no other party has it. And so we need to really understand all that before we go and publicize the party vision, because we need to convince the average person how we are different. And even the things that Arvind had said, people who will, come in power through the Aam Aadmi Party, they will not, there is no high command. They will not use the, public housing, the fancy bungalows. They will not use cars with red lights. They will not use extra security. So there's a lot that has been laid out that creates a lot of confidence that, the Aam Aadmi Party is actually doing what it's saying, that is walking the talk. And that's what we need to convince people, is that, that's the biggest doubt that anybody has, yeah, these sound good, but are you going to walk the talk? So, yeah, any other questions?
Shalini,
Rashmi here.
sorry, Rashmi, go ahead. Yeah.
I just wanted to know that when we can come up with the policies, there's the draft one.
I think it will take another few months, maybe 2 or 3 months, because these teams have just been formed and they've been given their terms of reference during that 3-day conference that was had. So they have their marching orders, and I mean, in the sense that they know what the overall vision of the executive committee has agreed to. Now they need to create an actual policy out of that and an implementation plan and work through all of that. So it will be at least 2 or 3 months.
But before that, can we come to know that what are the areas that they are covering? Who are the people
Who are working on it?
there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that we get
So
a
I think
confidence that, okay, something good is going to come out.
Yeah. I think that that is being just developed as, this last week. They've just put that together. So as soon as it's finalized, I will encourage them to share it a little more broadly. But again, yeah.
Hello, Rashmi. Yeah, this is Munish here. Maybe I can just fill in. I was there actually for this meeting. And basically, there are some areas. One is the administrative reforms, policy, like police reform, judicial reform, electoral reforms were discussed one session. Another session was devoted to this, what we call the concept of Swaraj. That was actually the very first session. And then the next day, economic policies were discussed. And then also the issue about reservation, social justice, and this kind of thing was discussed. So I think these are the main areas of focus right now. Defense policy, Health policy and all these were not discussed.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
agriculture, yes. And one session was totally devoted to agricultural concepts and reforms and policies.
So actually, if you want to know the exact teams that are there, Munishi, I have the details on that now, the teams that have been formed since the meeting.
Yes, please.
1 minute. My computer is just giving me a little trouble. Hang on. I'm trying to open my document. Okay, so there's one team on democratic governance, another team with a lot of different sub-teams on different aspects of democratic governance, another team on economy and ecology, and another team on society and communities, another team on culture, language, and knowledge, another team on peace and security, which has foreign policy, internal security, external defense, and all of that. Another team, so these are the actual, there are 4 big teams and then there are a lot of sub-teams within each of those 4 teams.
Okay.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shalini.
So I just want to tell our volunteers that to rest assured, there's a lot, people are working round the clock. There's a lot of effort that is going on to simultaneously do a lot of work on many, many fronts at one go. In fact, I'm a little concerned for Arvind because I'm just concerned for our 4 or 5 leaders at the top that they don't get burnt out. So I think that any other questions, then we can move, we can talk about, so these 4 teams that we are talking about, maybe you guys can decide on the process you're going to use on, having people sign up for one of the 4 teams. Does that make sense?
Hi, this is Shivakumar from Dallas. I would like to add one more point to our U.S. chapter. That is, next year we have a general election coming up. Okay, to encourage our friends in India, why can't we NRIs in here, if we are not a registered voter, let's go to the embassy or U.S. consul, nearby Indian consulate and register ourselves. Right now it's a cumbersome process the way Indian government has set up, but we have to take this as a challenge and register ourselves. Okay, that motivates our people, our Desh Bandhav there, and we plan our India trip according to the election schedule next year, so that we show our strength. Like NRIs are really concerned and they can go to India, making their time and spend money and vote there. So why can't we make it one of the items here?
I think that's a great idea. That's an excellent idea. So yeah, absolutely. Maybe you can have a team look into that and work up towards that. And that can support the, so they're going to start doing new voter registration in India. That's an effort that's just starting up for Delhi. And so I think you can do the same thing for NRI registration, and if it can be simplified in some way, sure.
Right. And in the, sorry, I'm Raghava Solipuram from Houston. To add to this point, we have worked tremendously in this direction before. There is a website called nrivotingrights.info. So there is all the information and everything. We can work it on offline. And I agree with the others who are on this. Thank you.
Yeah, just remember, winning an election for Aam Aadmi Party in India, I don't think it is a big deal, because all we want to do is, we don't have, Indian voters doesn't have a right candidate. That's why they end up with criminal A or criminal B. So if right now we have good candidates, okay, we corruption-free candidates, all we need to do is get them registered, okay, properly registered. People may not even know their name is there, exists in the voter list. So if we have them all registered, and I don't think it's a very difficult task for upcoming Delhi election for us to win.
I think that sounds good. think anything we can do to get more voters registered, it's a good thing.
Okay.
This is Srikant here from Los Angeles. I just want to add one point in this regards of the voter registration. It's hardly unknown to a lot of people, but right now the Election Commission allows bulk registrations. That means one guy can basically collect all the details and then he can take it to the nearest election commission and they can do bulk voter registration. Let's suppose you have some apartment there wherein there are 500 people. You can take all 500 related details along with their identity card, which is an Aadhaar card or anything, and then the election commission is open to doing a bulk registration. This is unknown fact to most people in our country. They think that each person should go and register it, but I'm sure that this is something that is that the Indian team should really quickly investigate and find out how this can be done. But this is happening in Bangalore right now. We'll have to really look in depth into this to get more bulk registrations done in Delhi.
So can you write your suggestion in an email and copy me on it, copy Dilip on it, and we'll make sure that it gets to the right people.
All right, Shalini ji. Yeah, I'll do that. Yes.
And we volunteers in Dallas, we collect all the information and we try to get the same thing done, contacting the embassy or consulate in Houston.
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Because the topic has come, I'm Raghava from Houston. Because Houston consulate, now we have a nice consulate general who works for the people, and things would happen. I have been sure for that. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I think our next topic would be talking about, how people are going to, so Akshay and are you guys going to be handle this offline about how you're going to create these 4 teams here?
Yeah, actually, this is Akshay. Actually, we are thinking it on offline. So maybe if they can send an email to aamadmiusa@gmail.com. I'm repeating it. AAMAADMIUSA@gmail. They can send an email to that. So that will be our main point of contact. That's our official US Gmail ID. And
say once again that email ID, please.
Sure, it is Aam Aadmi USA. AAMAADMIUSA at gmail.com.
Actually, this is Mohan here. Someone needs to mute. There's a lot of noise. I don't know who it is. If everyone can mute unless you really want to talk, please.
Akshay, just wanted to clarify. This is Munish here. My question is, so this email ID which you just gave, are we going to create a group also, or are we going to send independent emails? What is your plan on that?
Actually, later we need to create a group, for a better coordination between all the volunteers. Probably we should create a Google group. So I'll send out those details, once after this conference call. I'll send out the details about that Google group where all of us can join and we can have that offline communication over there. So, actually it looks like we have only around 15 people over here. So, this can be handled offline, just sending an email to Aam Aadmi Party USA. But by end of tonight, we'll try to get a proper, format where everyone can chip in and where everyone can say that their respective interesting teams are also. We'll try to get it by tonight. And other thing is, if it is actually better to keep our volunteer drive keep on going, because right now we have 80 to 100 people. So, if you put some target saying 1,000 people by end of this month or, within 1 month, and if we can start forwarding that registration thing to all our friends and encouraging them to join the group. So the bigger the group is, we get more productive too. So it would be great if you can forward those registration things to your friends.
Actually, just to add to that, unless and until we don't put flyers or anything on Final War on Corruption and the Aam Aadmi Party main Facebook page where we have 1 lakh or 2 lakh people, all these NRIs, they're directly related to the Indian Facebook pages. In order to get them to the USA belt, we'll have to make sure that we advertise all of these on these main Facebook pages, Akshay. Then we might expect another 50 to 100 people joining us very quickly.
Actually, it's an interesting question because I spoke to Dilip on the same issue. So, I mean, what Dilip was saying was, if you put that registration thing on main Final War Against Corruption, irrespective of their city and place, people will just join. And it really doesn't matter whether they live in USA. People even from India, they will join, and it will be hectic for you guys to figure it out.
We can take out the bad data, Akshay, but the point is we need these people who just don't have leads on who we are and where we are. They just don't know where to go. So I know that we'll have a lot of bad data, people from Lucknow, Agra posting their email addresses, but we should figure out a way to take out the bad data and then filter out some people who joined us, the USA team.
Yeah.
So one way that I would say.
Can I just jump in for a second? Can I just jump in for a second? Because I just want you to know that there is a, Akash Madnani who's going to lead the fundraising effort. He has some plan of sending emails to NRIs. So in his plan, he's looking at sending 3 to 5 million emails to NRIs. So also Google, Facebook ads. So I think you guys should join. I mean, he will be communicating to all of the country organizations that have been created, and so this should become a joint effort with him. So publicity and fundraising go hand in hand. So these emails will not be just about fundraising. These emails will be a multi-purpose email. It will be sharing the vision of Aam Aadmi Party. It will be sort of an emotional mail. It will also ask for volunteers. It will also ask for donors. And so I think what he shared with me is that he has a plan of 3 to 5 million emails to NRI. So, I mean, you guys can continue to do what you're doing, like getting people, the NRI population off from the national website onto your, the US page and all of that. And maybe, start working on it right away. But I just want you to know that there is this plan that he has. So connecting with him also, whoever ends up being the lead of this volunteer and the fundraising, those two people need to work closely together. And once we know the names of who's going to lead those teams in the US, I can forward you Akash's email, and then, you can connect with Akash and see what the plan, and create a plan together. Make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So,
who's the fundraising coordinator you said?
His name is Akash Madnani in India.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to continue on, how do we do the publicity on the social media? So with Facebook changing its policy where every post on a page reaches only about 5% by default. What we tried initially as an experiment, and by the way, this is Anand here, Anand Sharma. What we have been trying initially was trying to do a sponsored post which cost like $3 to $5, max of $10. And that is something that we should think about individually on saying, okay, how about we promote Aam Aadmi Party USA with some very interesting posts that talk about fundraising or volunteer drive, and try to sponsor it for 3-5 months. And the cost is pretty minimal when it comes to individual thing. I mean, that's something that whoever is the fundraising coordinator here, I would work with them, and we can work on this kind of along those lines too.
Right. So I'm saying get your team together, brainstorm these kind of strategy ideas, and just send me, and I'll get you in touch with Akash, and so that we all know what, and then those ideas can be evaluated and we can move forward with it. So I think these are some great ideas. Just put them down on paper, on an email, get your group together, brainstorm more ideas, come up with some kind of concrete, okay, these are 3 to 5 things that we are suggesting we can do. And then let's network with Akash ji and the India team and make sure we're all on the same page and then move forward with it.
Sure.
And one more thing, it's another thing. So basically, Republic Day is coming up on January 26th. So as our party has started on November 26th, on the adoption day of our constitution. So what do you guys think of having a, chai party on January 26th, inviting your friends? It doesn't matter how many people will attend. Just, it can be, 3 or 4 people to 20 or 30 people. So just invite your friends and have a kind of a kickstart meeting in respective cities on January 26th. What do you guys think?
Good idea.
I think it's a great idea. This is Shalini.
So then I'll just post the same information in our Aam Aadmi Party Facebook page too. So we'll try to have a chai party on this January 26th.
Yeah, let us try to promote this whole idea of a chai party. I think that's a very nice, catchy term that has come out of this meeting. And if we can try to promote this one, it has its own publicity effect just by the term.
Exactly. Sure. So, okay, so January, timing can be, it is up to their respective cities. They can have it any time. So January, because it is Saturday too.
Yeah.
So any more or any other suggestions or any other comments?
This is Anil here from Dallas. I'm just wondering, do we have a database wherein we know, okay, who all are from which cities in US are in the group so that we can communicate them directly on the emails, or how exactly are we going to do that?
So actually, about the database, we don't have much database of US volunteers right now. And this is Akshay again. So I'll try to forward the information that I have with me for those respective cities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm not expecting that a huge database is lying with us. I really don't.
I understand, Akshay, but what probably we can do is when obviously we are going to have this Gmail Google group, within there we will have a file section. We can generate a just file, Excel file in there, and ask every other user to update their details with the city, phone number, if it's okay with them, email IDs, so that whosoever wants to connect with each other can do that directly.
Yeah, sure. So actually right now, we have around 80 to 100 people registered, and we segregate them based on their respective cities too. So that's one idea that we are working on. Yes, that's a good solution.
So this is Anand Sharma here. Just to continue on what Akshay said, this 1800 people that has registered, that has been formatted in a city-based way. So just on the spreadsheet, we have different sheets pertaining to each city, basically. So the template is there, and we have been populating the template with data. And rightly, we don't have much data, but we can put that as part of the Google group here.
So how does, hello Anand, this is Pran. Just a quick question on that. So how does somebody get on that list?
So on the, there is a registration form that Akshay has on the, in the invitation.
Okay.
So it's basically a Google form. You just enter the form that automatically at the back end updates a Google spreadsheet, and we just monitor it and organize it in state-wise, city-wise thing. That back-end form has not been made visible to a lot of people, but eventually I think once the Google group comes in, we can make that back-end form visible.
You're right, okay. So right now it is sent out to people with a link, is it? By email?
Yeah, we just sent the Google form link, which and people just have to fill in their phone number and other details. Not phone number, the names and other details, which essentially goes in the back end and populates the Excel spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet.
Okay.
So that work has been done, and that spreadsheet, Akshay and me and I think Somu we've been maintaining that spreadsheet to make sure it's filtered out as per every city location and all that. We just didn't have a proper platform to share it yet. And we can start off with a Google group, maybe later on it could be part of some website or something. I mean, we just don't know which platform to share it yet because, but at some point it needs to be shared.
Yeah, we can start small like this. Yeah.
Okay.
This Akshay, I'll talk to Ankit tonight and I'll ask him to share it to the main final war against corruption and Aam Aadmi Party, India main FB pages. So it can have more people registered. I'll share
Right.
And then if anybody wants to promote that post, they can go ahead and promote through their own individual account actually. You don't need to be an admin if I understand right. That way they feel like they have contributed, it's $3 to $5 kind of a thing. And at the same time, that whole post gets spread many places.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Raghava from Houston. I have one quick another question for Shalini. Is it okay, Shalini, now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Quick thing is, I remember having seen in online this party registration form. There is a clause which says if you are a member of another party, you should not get membership for this party. How true is it, and why is it? Is it a mandatory thing?
Right. So you cannot be a formal member of one party if you're a member of another party. So that's only like if you're a formal actual member of BJP or Congress, then you don't want people to have dual membership like that.
Is it a party policy, or is it something to do with the way things works? Is it a party policy?
I don't have the accurate answer for that. So that's a good question. I can find that out, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
For this thing, lately I have seen a lot of people who are part of the Lok Satta party. They are also interested in Aam Aadmi Party, and that's where the conflict happens, if they want to be part of both the parties or not.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, Shalini. So we'll wait for your answer. Thank you.
Shalini,
well, I can give you an answer on in terms of what the rationale for that was, but the point is that it's there on the membership form, and that is a party policy.
Party policy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's fine. I mean, if it is a party policy, that's.
But again, as I said, you can still continue to be a volunteer. So I'm a U.S. citizen and I cannot be a member of the party, but that doesn't prevent me from volunteering. I've been working like 12 hours every day volunteering for the party. So
yeah, I know. Being an Indian that's a different story. But Indian and non-Indian, that's a different story. We understand. But if it is, you've been part of another party and you don't want to be in another party, I mean that's where I see a discrimination. That's why I was asking you that question. Thank you.
So Shalini, this is Anand here, Anand Sharma. Basically, the crux of the question that a lot of people have is, what is the policy of Aam Aadmi Party with respect to other honest parties? How do we gel them together? There are people who have been supporting, for example, Lok Satta Party, and what is the plan, the strategy to integrate the crowd on that front? And that's where all these questions are coming. It's not the specific questions of which party to join and all that. The crux is, what is the real strategy? How are we integrating? Like, for example, there is another guy, Ashwin Mahesh, people like him. Shantala Damda, they like him, but how do we support? Do we support them? So that's the strategy that we don't know, and that's something that at some point needs to be told openly that, okay, these are the so-called honest parties that we would work together with, like Lok Satta Party or whatever.
Right. And that's a question of alliances. So at a formal level, will these kind of parties that recognize that if they're working for the same objective, will they create an actual alliance with each other? I think there have been some conversations about that, and it's not something that they haven't been looking into. So let me just leave it at that. That I know that they're aware of that. That alliances with divided we fail, united we succeed. Everybody understands that, And the idea would be to keep joining the energies of people who have the same objective. And so whether they, are able, I think in terms of whether a formal alliance happens, I leave that up to the leaders. That's really, conversation and decision that the leaders make.
Yeah, more than a formal alliance, it's more of like whom do I support in concrete terms. For example, like if a Lok Sabha guy comes and says, I need a donation, what is my priority? Where do I put the priority first? I mean, it's a bigger confusion at individual levels on where do we put our loyalties and all that stuff. Some kind of a direction on that end, because a lot of people have spent a lot of energy with Lok Sabha Party and now they are confused on where do they go forward with it. I mean, the formal alliance and all that will come later on at the time of election, and that's not the real worry here. It's like, what do we do now? Whom do we openly support? I mean, if I go and campaign for Aam Aadmi Party, would I antagonize my other base? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And it's a dilemma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a personal dilemma.
Yeah.
I think it's better to leave it to the individual, because if another party is as honest as ours, we should respect that also. So technically one should be a member of one party, that's fine. As long as he is now that, okay, Aam Aadmi is also good, we will support it on their activities. But yeah, I am personally with another party that's also honest, let's go with this. I think it's left to an individual. It's very
Exactly.
question, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, ultimately, what I do know is that the objective of the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party is to bring about a system change. It is even bigger than trying to win elections. Winning elections is just a means to an end. The end is to bring about a system change, that there's accountability of public officials to create policies and governance in the interest of the Aam Aadmi. That is the objective. So however, that objective is met, that should be your decision. That should help your decision. However, whatever is the best way to meet that objective. That would be my personal advice, but that's my personal advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if it is this
All right,
Akshay,
let's move on.
So, yeah, this is Akshay. So if, anyone would like to become like an official member of the party, they can do one thing. They can actually fill the form online in our aamaadmiparty.org website and scan after filling it up, scan the copy and have a signature on it. And if you can take a printout and have a signature and scan the copy, and if you can send that to our Aam Aadmi USA Gmail ID, we will just forward it to there and we'll try to get it registered.
Akshay, that is a very good thing. This is Munish here. There is a practical problem in getting membership from here. Like when I was going last week, 10 days back to India, one of my friends said, how do I send 10 rupees to India? So can you please go and get a membership for me? So I think this is an excellent suggestion that if our team can process those membership forms and send it to India, that will actually help,
Sure. Yeah, we will do it. So if they can send that scanned copy, and 10 rupees, it should not be a big deal. So we can get that.
Yeah, or can we make it a bit more simple if they send by email, if they send the name and all that information?
No, we need the signature too on the form.
Yes, okay.
So that's the only reason we need the scanned one. So I'll send out the details about that later in our meeting minutes.
Sure.
So do we have anything else?
I'm Rashmi. I want to know, tomorrow again we have a conference, Google Hangout with Arvind Kejriwal. What is the timing for that?
That's a good question. So I'm thinking it is more of 12 p.m. Indian timing. I don't know. Actually, that's the thing even I'm confused with. Does anyone?
No, it sounds like that. Usually that's the time when they have it because it's more targeted to audience in Delhi and in India. I think it's not one which was targeted at people overseas.
Are you talking about the Sunday telecast that Arvind does?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that, up to now, it was only targeted at Delhi. And now it's going to expand to all national, state, and district offices. Now, it's a good question. I don't know the answer to whether it will also involve the NRI groups. And maybe you should send an email to Dilip and ask that, because Dilip coordinates that every Sunday. And but I know the plan is to extend it now to all of our national offices. So he'll be doing that address telecast.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check with Dilip and I'll send those information details.
So I know that Mohan had a question about visibility to party activities for volunteers. So one of the things that is planned, it hasn't been executed so far, is we've created Facebook pages for all the NRI groups, but we have not yet created the website pages. There's going to be a website page for NRIs. And there are also going to be website pages, or at least website events. You can, in the website, you should be able to scroll down to any state and district and be able to see what events are going on there. So ultimately, those are going to be created. But I was just told by Ankit that they haven't been created yet. And so that is the overall plan for all of the internal communication, that the website would have all that information about what's going on in different in different regions.
Mohan here, Shalini. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else?
This is Raymond here. I wanted to just mention one thing. Recently, Nisha from Dallas, she was able, and since we all are on the phone, I'm putting this forth. She was able to contact 2 magazine publishers in the Northeast area, and we know of one in Dallas area who would like to post articles about Aam Aadmi Party. So if whoever is good at that area, maybe somebody in India too, Shalini ji, if somebody can give us some nice articles to post and spread the word about Aam Aadmi Party and their activities, we would really need that so we can publish those.
So say that more. What are you looking for? You're looking for articles, or you're looking for, so you're going to be, they're going to write articles for us, or they're looking for a written article?
This is Nisha here.
Yeah, Nisha can talk more about it.
Yeah, actually I talked to both of the magazines people, and they say since it's something's about Indian politics, they have, if we write them an article, they'll review it, and if it's something they like it, then they will try to publish it. However, they say if we get direct things from Arvind Kejriwal or his direct members from India, then they would definitely publish something like that, a direct article or interview of Arvind ji, then they say they will definitely publish that.
Okay.
So Manish ji, can you take that up as an action item, and can you work with maybe Vibhav and ask him if there's already an interview of Arvind that can be just used, picked up and used and given to these people, or if not, then can you write something, because I know you like to write.
Sure.
And create something and then work with Nisha to get them some content.
Sure, Nisha, that will be good. This is Manish here. How do I communicate with you? Definitely I can work on this.
Okay.
No, Pran is also online. He also writes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it together. So how do we communicate with each other? I think I am on Facebook on the same core members page, where, are you there, Nisha, on that? Or you can...
Here, if you go to the event page, I have liked the information, and you can send me a message under Nisha, AAP.
Nisha AAP, okay, I will find you. And I think, Pran, I probably saw you on the Facebook already. I'm not sure if we are connected or not, but yes, I think. Or if you can please find me, or I will try to find you, and then... Are you on the same page also?
Yeah, I'm on the same page.
Okay, so we can...
Yeah.
This is Jaimin. If you can also contact me, I'm also on the page. Then I'll try to get it translated into Gujarati and put our article in the Gujarati newspaper in Dallas area.
Sure.
So these are the kind of activities that really support the organization building in other countries. So this is, why we want to create a media team. This is exactly the kind of work the media team should be doing, is, proactively approaching other media, trying to get publicity from Aam Aadmi Party, publishing these kind of things, creating a buzz. That's exactly what we need. So, Munishi, can you talk with also Manish Sisodia? He's very difficult to get hold of because he's split into too many parts right now. But, that's why I said talk to Vibhav, but we may be able to lift something that already exists. And,
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they might already have some information to give to them,
Right, right.
Written piece, so.
You can even ask Ashwati. Ashwati would be a good person, and she's very responsive.
Okay, sure.
Vibhav is also responsive, yeah. Either of them can help you.
Yes, I met Ashwati this time, so
yeah.
I think she would probably be easy.
Shalini, Jaimin here. Another thing I wanted to mention was we have slowly got contacts of people in the radio business around this area. We were on the radio, but we as volunteers were on the radio talking about India Against Corruption when it was there and now Aam Aadmi Party. But but we constantly get requests that if there is a possibility where we can get anybody from the India team, maybe tier 1, so Arvind and his close associate, or maybe second-rung people. So is there any possibility, I know they all are very busy, that we could get any one of those people on the radio here?
Well, so you're talking about them if somebody is visiting, or you're talking about from there?
There are two options. They can be over there and we can have them live on the radio over here and have a Q&A or interview. Or if we can also pre-record their interview and then play it on the radio here.
Right. So I think that can be easily done. Pre-record an interview with someone from the, so there's a core team. There's a core team, there's a core leadership team that, so you can have anybody from the executive committee or maybe even somebody from the smaller core team. And if you let me know who you'd like to get, I can look into it and probably get an interview taped. So we have an internet TV team now. There's a group of people that are creating content to post on internet. So there's a internet TV team now. And maybe even they can do some recording. They have some camera people and things like that with them.
Okay.
So I can get them to do the recording and record an interview if you want. But we don't want to create a lot of work for the India team unless it's something we can leverage quite widely.
Sure.
So let's put some thought in it. Just for one radio station in one small region, we don't want to create work. But if we can get something recorded and leverage it widely, then it makes a lot of sense.
And which is what the idea is. But the idea is that the content, the recorded content, should be specifically recorded for the audience in the U.S. And once we have the recorded content, maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes, then we can play that around in the U.S. area on online radios as well as the live radio channels.
Right. I think that's a great idea. So you prepare the plan, what content you want, maybe even a list of interview questions, who are you looking for to interview, and create a plan, write it up, and send it to me, and I'll work on it.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Hi, the one from Houston, Raghavan. If you're still on the call, could you please give me your phone number? So if I have to organize from Dallas with our Dallas volunteers for voter registration, I will reach out to you. You being in Houston will be helpful, I think.
Sure, no problem. Anybody wants to call me anytime, my number is 630-346-2332. That's my cell.
Okay. Do we have Raghavan's phone number also? Raghavan is from Houston, who introduced at the beginning of this call.
If he is not here, I will forward his number. May I know your name?
I am Shiva Kumar. If you forward it to Rashmi or Jamin, okay, we are all here in touch and that helps. If you have their contact, you can send it to them.
Yeah, this is Akshay. I will forward Raghava's contact to you. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Akshay.
Yeah. So, if you do you have anything else to discuss? It's been 1 hour. So, if all of us are okay with that, so we can have a chai party on January 26th on the Republic Day. Just invite as many friends as we can to your home and just kickstart our first physical meeting maybe. And I'll send out the the meeting minutes of today's meeting to everyone, and I'll post it on Aam Aadmi Party Facebook page too. And I'll send the details for that Google group which we are going to create, and I'll give all of the details over there. So I'll forward meeting minutes.
And also, you're going to, people are going to send email about what group they want to join, right? If they want to join the four teams that we are creating, right?
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I'll put that up.
Yeah, and then once those teams are created, then I think each team should meet and decide on one person who's going to be the overall coordinator of that team.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So once after I receive everyone's area of interest, I'll put everything together and I'll email them in a group. Like if people say that they are interested in media contacts, so I'll put all those 5 or 10 people who will say that in a group, and I'll leave it to them. I'll give that information to each individual.
And all those people who said they want to work on the the voter registration for NRI, can you pick one person who can be the point of contact to carry that forward? So can you just meet between yourselves and decide, pick one person who's going to be the point of contact to take that work forward?
Yeah, sure.
Also, this is Nisha here. I wanted to suggest, I know this call was recorded, so for those of us who couldn't join this conference call, maybe if we can put this link on the event page or on the website, or on the Facebook page itself, so that way others can listen to this conference call later on.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'll post that link.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Kumar from Dallas.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I joined this call quite late. I'm a U.S. citizen, and I was wondering how can I donate to this party? Am I allowed legally to donate? I was wondering because I like to see if my friends can also donate to this party. So as a U.S. citizen, is there an option for me?
So let me take that one. Let me answer that. Formally to the party, you cannot donate. U.S. citizens cannot, foreign citizens cannot donate to the party. There might be some other avenues of donating to, an independent organization that would be supporting the objectives of the party. And if that, so if you can just, the fundraising team, whoever ends up being the point of contact for the fundraising team, can you send your name? And if the fundraising team can create a list of these kind of U.S. citizens, but just create a list of names and contact information for U.S. citizens in case we end up in a situation where anything that we are going to do is going to be legal and above board. We're not going to do anything that is not. If there ends up... I'm sorry. So if we can create a list of these kind of potential donors, and if there ends up being an initiative that they can donate to, then we want to be able to reach them when the time comes. So if you can just create a list of these kind of people. So if you can give your name to...
U.S. citizens or anyone not Indian can contribute when we set up in a social or a charity wing of Aam Aadmi, where it takes care of supporting some social cause. So that division is created when then non-Indians can support it by donating.
Yeah, there are some options are being explored right now. So that's why I want to capture the names and contact information of anybody who's a U.S. citizen and interested in donating. I want our fundraising team to create a list and capture it. So whoever ends up being the fundraising point of contact, can you just make sure that you send your contact information to that team? Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, this is Jaimin, a small note on the donation front. So last year when there was the India Against Corruption movement going on, when we did a lot of these events in Dallas, we distributed T-shirts, IAC T-shirts, and that's how we collected donations. So that could be an idea that we could explore. That gives us publicity when people wear the T-shirt in public, as well as we can collect money for the T-shirts and then use that for other cause.
I think we have to be careful. So any such ideas, just send them to me and I'll get them vetted before we move forward with it. We just have to be careful of any activity that is not actually allowed.
Exactly. When money comes, yeah, we should be all in the same page and we should be careful.
This is Kumar once again from Dallas. On the Aam Aadmi website, is there a way that the India website can have like a net banking option where people can donate? Because my parents or my relatives can, they wouldn't take the pains to go and write a check to mail it. Is there a way that we can create, since most of the banking is done online, as an option?
Yeah, it's been set up now. It's the payment gateway now on the website. Yeah, it's been enabled.
Okay, thank you.
This is Nisha. I have a question as well. I want to know, what about for dual citizens? If we
no, dual citizens, yeah, dual citizens are still not Indian citizens, so that doesn't help.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, if not any other question.
So one last closing thing I want to say is that some of you are working on projects that you've been asked by the India team to do that. I know that some of you are working on this sort of the voter data and things like that. Are there any other people who are doing projects for the India team? So in addition to the 4 committees that we formed that you will all be putting your energy into, I also want to know what are the resources that are available, because one of the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to find resources for the India team that can help carry some of our work forward. So anybody who feels like you have an X amount of time that you can devote to helping the India team, can you just send me an email so I can put you on our roster of people that I can use to help support the India team, the work that they're doing.
Yeah, sounds good.
Shalini, can you specify like what type of activities we can help in? Like, are you mentioning about the development or?
So anything, if you have time, just put, this is the amount of time I have available. This is my area of expertise, or this is where I think I can contribute, and just send me that. And then as the need comes up, we can pull on people. Pull on people individually or in teams to support the India work.
Okay.
So somebody might say, I can help, I'm a technology background, I can help in technology. Somebody might say, I have a, I write really well, or somebody, can say, I can take on the responsibility of the whole, I'm in the cultural team that we have, poets, singers, writers, so we're looking for a lot of different things. Right now, we're still continuing to need more resources at the India level. We have, in Delhi, we need somebody to be sitting and calling 5,000 volunteers, 5,000 people who have signed up as members of the party from Delhi alone, and they need to be called and individually and things like that. So we are struggling a little bit with finding enough resources for all the tasks that need to be done there. And to the extent that they can be supported by people helping from here, I want to plug those people just so those tasks can continue to move forward quickly. So that was my only request.